Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. How you doing? So today we are going to be talking all about your life purpose. I get a lot of emails and then when I do readings, people will say, "What is my purpose? What is my life purpose?" And I'm here to remind you all, even to remind myself, that our life purpose says, pluralized, is conditional and seasonal. So the same thing that you're meant to do when you're 10, that purpose may change by the time you're 20. What your purpose is at 20 will change probably by the time you're 40. By the time you are 60, your purpose will be different than what it was when you were 35. If you look at people in the entertainment and in the athletic industry, they have a season for what they are doing. So a lot of people, they will start off as child stars, and then things change and they may or may not continue their career, and if they do, they may have to change the way their style is or what their look is or the type of audiences that they are catering to. If you look at athletes like people in the NFL, they will have a season in their life where they're on top, they're in demand, but then it may become, excuse me, there may come a time where they have to become a sports commentator, or they may become a coach. So there are seasons in life where you are a performer, and then there are seasons in life at the generative stage later in life where one becomes a mentor, or they give back, or they teach. So everything is different. Like me, for example, I had a vegan cupcake business by the name of Foxy's, and I had divination done with Ifa, and I was like, should I really go into this business? Should I do this? And it gave a definite yes. So at that season, before initiation and before my path was more clear to me with my destiny, they were like, yes, do this, because I needed that experience. But my season back then, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, is not my same season or purpose now. So my purpose has not necessarily changed, because I've always had a tendency to do what I'm doing, but now it's time to focus more on teaching and giving back and being a student and being a disciple. So purpose definitely does change. Also, you can think of parents. When your child is 4 years old, your parenting may be different than when they become, 17, 18, 24. So things change. Like when someone becomes an empty nester, their role as a parent is going to be different versus when the child was younger and needed more things from them. And another thing is too, you can look at your life path and your destiny numbers, and even I will even say Ifa, in order to look into what your current purpose is, what your purpose was, and what it will be, because things shift and change. In numerology, there's the concept of pinnacles, not pentacles like in tarot, like coins, but pinnacles, Pinnacles, which talks about the four phases, the four seasons of your life. One beginning from birth till about 27 to 35 years old, and then every 9 year cycle after that, you'll go into three more pinnacles, which are life phases. So, depending on your numerical vibrations, the vowels, and the consonant in your name, your purpose will shift and change. Even though all throughout your life, you will have your life path number and your personality number, which is your blueprint. Your life phase and pinnacles will change and shift. Say, for instance, if someone is in the first phase of their life in Pinnacle 1, they may feel like they don't get a lot of support, or people are not there for them, or they make a lot of mistakes, they experiment a lot, they take a lot of risk, and they have a lot of lessons to learn. They have to bump their head a lot, some people. And they're like, well, why does it feel like I'm doing everything by myself? But when that pinnacle shifts and changes into the second pinnacle, that's when they start meeting more friends, more supportive people, and that type of energy. So another one is too. I'm gonna skip the third one. The fourth pinnacle. The fourth pinnacle of life, which is the one where it's till the end of your life. That pinnacle is all about having stability, not just experiencing things and not just getting things, but keeping them, acquiring them, home ownership, and things like that. So your pinnacles will shift and change. It's not the same for everybody, because it also depends on, there are other numbers within that pinnacle, that life phase. Like you could be in the fourth pinnacle in your life, and the vibrational number could be 6. So you will probably be more home and family oriented, more roots oriented. Where somebody who has a 9 in their fourth life pinnacle, they're going to be dealing more with giving back, humanitarianism, of doing things for community benefit, not just personal and family benefit. Somebody who is in the fourth pinnacle of their life, and they are in possibly one could be the vibration, that may be the time of their life. Maybe they gave and they were selfless all of their life, but now that they are in their 50s or 60s, as a grandparent or an elder, now it's time for them to focus more on self and to do what's best for them. So everybody's energy shifts and changes. And if we also, there are odus and patakis that speak of, people being late bloomers. Sometimes it's in your soul contract to be a late bloomer. Some people will say, well, why haven't I got married by this stage of my life? Or why haven't I not accomplished more? Spirit says I'm supposed to be wealthy, or I'm supposed to have this business, and it just seems like it's just failure after failure and disappointment after disappointment. But, sometimes, yes, things are destined for you to have and acquire, but sometimes they're due to come in queue later. So it takes patience. Not my favorite word, because I'm not a patient person. But a lot of the things that you are going through in your youth, if you are a so-called late bloomer in life, bumping your head, the difficult people, that's building you up and building your character in order to prepare you for the good season that's coming in. Some people, it's kind of like those people in high school that were really popular and they were popping, and everybody wanted to be around them. They had the best parties, they were invited, and you had a kid who's the nerd, kind of shy. And it's like at that time period during high school they were popping, but you see them maybe about 10 years later, and it's like things are different. They're not so hot anymore because things are seasonal. There could be an artist, a recording artist that during 2013 they could have had a hit out. Now it's like they could be kind of considered a has been. No offense. So everything is seasonal. People's life shifts and changes. Sometimes people get their heyday early in life, either as a child, they could be the favored one in their destiny, and then later on they have life lessons to learn, because throughout their life they could have been selfish. You have some siblings, and one of them could have been favored, or they could have had it easy, they never known struggle, and something happens where a parent passes away, or something shifts in their life, they get their first heartbreak, or something happens, a divorce or something, and it shifts them, even them becoming a parent, and then they become often less selfish because they're in a different stage or pinnacle of their life. When they were in a different phase, you're like, oh, this person is so selfish, they're so inconsiderate, and then you see them like later on, or as you watch them grow, it's like, wow, you have really changed. You're more humble now. And it's like, that's because their pinnacle has shifted and changed in their life. They've gone through some lessons, even some Saturn transits that can kind of knock somebody, upside the head hard and behind, and it can humble people. They can go through an ego death. Whereas somebody could have self-esteem issues younger in life, and they could have challenges, the outcasts and all this other kind of stuff, and you see them later. Like if you watch some of these TV shows or talk shows, they'll have these people, they used to be a nerd, nobody paid them attention, and then you see them, they're all nice and hot and buff and stuff. And people are like, oh my God, is that the same person? That's because they were probably meant to have their heyday when their pinnacle shifted to a different phase of their life. So now it's their turn to be on top. Just like the saying goes, every dog has its day. Not calling anyone a dog. But once again, if you feel discouraged, like when is my turn gonna come, just stay patient, because there is things called pinnacles. The thing to focus on in each phase of your life is, am I being the best I can be in that phase of my life? So if you are in pinnacle 1 and you feel like you are doing it all by yourself, I would advise you to be the best number 1 pinnacle you can be. If you're in a 2, that's all about support, intuition, cooperation, and things like that. Then be the best 2 pinnacle you can be when you're in that life phase. If you're in 3 phase, be the best creator you can be. Make things happen. Social interaction, all of those things. Whereas somebody who's in a 4 pinnacle in their life, it's more about stability and acquiring things. So be the best 4 you can be. So whatever phase of life you're in, if you're a late bloomer and it's not quite your turn yet, be patient. Your turn will come if you stay diligent. Now the thing is, You can miss your opportunities when it's your heyday turn, through being discouraged, being amongst the wrong people, in the wrong crowds, around energy vampires and draining relationships. You have to be careful not to miss your turn, not to miss your pinnacle in life. Even though people say you have these lessons, yes, but once you learn those lessons, it's time to say, okay, I'm not going through this anymore, and I'm going to be the best I can be. I'm going to make sure that my way is open, that I can get the opportunities that are meant for me. So don't miss your turn when that turn comes. So it's all about calculating your numbers, knowing your destiny. And if I believe, we not only believe, some people can be late bloomers, or they have different time periods where things are going well. We also believe in sacrifice, which we call ebo. So somebody could be due to have certain things in their destiny, and if Ifa is their path, then they would have to make certain ebos or sacrifices. But check it out. Ebo and sacrifice is not just going to a priest and getting some cleansing or doing what is required or requested by spirit, because you have free will, you don't have to do it. It's also about making other certain sacrifices, like saving if there's a business that you want to do, being careful where you allow your income, being careful about the people that you surround yourself with, once again, being in good company. All of those things are sacrifices, for what you want to do. So, how Reverend Ike said, fake it till you make it. If there's something you want to do or something that you want to be, find some people that are already doing it and emulate that. Don't copy it, put your own authentic twist to it, but act as if you already have it. A lot of spiritual new thought people are saying this. It's as old as the beginning of time. Find someone and emulate them, and find a way to act as if you already have the accomplishment you want to have. Act as if you have already achieved it. Act as if you are enough right now. Because another key in finessing your life phases and appreciating them is, number one, realizing what you have right now. Because in each phase of your life, we're always born with what we need. Even if we did not have the best parents, the best circumstances, or whatever it was that we felt like we were lacking, we had exactly what we needed in our soul contract. So when we were born, we were born with a metaphysical backpack that was packed with everything we needed for our trip to planet Earth, to the third dimension. So whatever you have, there's a way to turn your limits into lemonade and use what you got during the time period until you get what you really want. Because that's part of the lessons too, is just kind of, if you only have a yellow and a green and a blue crayon in your box, you have to kind of be creative and make something out of that. So it's about using what's already in your backpack, finessing it, and doing the best you can with it. Kind of like during the slavery days, they had to take, the scraps and stuff, and they made soup with it. It may not have been the healthiest, but it ended up being tasty because they took it, they seasoned it, they just used what they could get their hands on with their limited resources, and they made it work for them. So this is a short video all about your life phases and your life purpose, and realize if you feel like your turn has not come yet, just be patient, do the best you can do for now with the tools you do have and the resources you have, and just know that your day will come. And if you feel like your day has already passed, then what you do, once again, you create again. You create a new purpose for yourself. So whatever you want to do, whatever gets you out the bed in the morning, that's the key to your life phase and purpose, and finessing it and knowing your numbers. Know thyself. All right. Peace and bliss. Until next time.